Jayco Redhawk Class C motorhome here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Model 26XD as in X-Ray David. This is an awesome, working man's Class C, but it's something that you can be very proud of owning. It is 100% all thriller, no filler. Basically, it's the slightly less appointed version of the Jayco Greyhawk, which is a very well respected and extremely well put together Class C. You know, this is just a little less icing on the cupcake, but still just as sweet. And that's what I'm going to dig into. The stuff that really determines your long-term ownership and value is all here. The structure is the same. The warranties are the same. It's just a matter of scaling down the interiors a bit here. And what I'm going to show you is where they're similar and where they're different and how that benefits you. Like, for instance, they both have this nose cap here that puts the seam under the cap. A lot of manufacturers are still putting a seam right here on the edges of the overhead bunk. Problem is that's a very stressful place in terms of like wind and dynamics and geometrics and whatnot. It gets twisted and pulled and pushed really hard up there. Well, if the seam is right here on the edge, you're far more likely to develop leaks. So they put that seam down here where it's a lot harder to get to. They're both using E450 chassis with a Triton V10, so you have tons of power. You know, you can easily tow behind this, and it even comes factory prepped with a towing package. You know, this also has you know, double the warranty of anything else you're going to find in a Class C, especially at this price point. You know, you're looking at least 2-year warranty versus 1 year from the manufacturer, and you still get all your Ford warranties. You see here we have the Cummins Gas Generator built right in here. What's cool is that generator feeds right off the same supply tank as your main engine. Now, what's kind of cool also is that the generator cannot go below 1/4 of that tank. It'll quit running, so that you never strand yourself by running the generator overnight. You know, you'd be surprised how easily that happens. You just don't think about it. You know, the fact that this is vacuum laminated versus pinch rolled is a big deal. Again, that's one of those things that's going to be similar between your Greyhawk, your Redhawk. Standing right here, they look basically the same because, again, the structure is almost identical. Like, they both have the really glossy vanilla ice cream skin here, and the frameless windows. These don't just look super cool, but the seal is hidden under the window pane to keep it away from the sun and whatnot. One of the very few differences between them is the Greyhawk does have a one-piece fiberglass roof. This does have a traditional rubberized roof that will need treatment from time to time, but that's really not a big deal. You do that once a year after a couple years here, and you're going to be fine. Again, I mentioned factory, you know, Ford factory towing package right on here. 4- and 7-way plugs built right on, and minimum rated for towing 5,000 pounds. 500 wouldn't get you a whole lot beyond like a little flat bottom boat. This rear slide is one of the best parts of this floor plan, and I'll touch on that when we get in there. But right under it here is this big baggage door that's kind of swinging in the breeze. Couple things. See how thick this is? This is a full 1.5 inch thick, fully laminated, which means also fully insulated. A lot of manufacturers don't insulate their baggage doors. Now, remember I said the bedroom is right above you, right up here? Well, if that's not insulated, all that hot air is just spilling right through that cavity, and you're going to freeze to death, and you're not going to be real happy with that. Now, this big storage area they have out here, if you listen, that's a you know, a full like one-piece steel sort of shield in here, so that you know, you can throw cargo in here, and you can be kind of clumsy about it without actually, you know, running the risk of damaging your coach. We do have a push button power awning on here, so you can get some patio shade in, you know, about 30 seconds. Let's step inside here. Oh yeah, double power entry step, and that's a standard thing here, so you're not paying extra for that. A lot of Class C's at this price point are not offering power steps even with an upgrade. Another thing I noticed, your power awning button and whatnot is right here, right next to your main power, so you can pop in, kick your power on, run your awning in or out right from here, and never have to worry about it. I thought that was pretty darn good planning, personally. Pardon me, I'm going to shut the door behind us because it is a little windy today. Alright, so, oh shoot, I don't remember the name offhand of this color scheme. It's a kind of a mid-tone, slightly darkish leatherette sofa with some nice lighter accents on your fabrics. Can't remember the name of that, so pardon me. But remember that this video is kind of here as stock footage. Not every single 26XD that we sell is going to look exactly like this one. Primarily, most of your features and options we try to order the same, but your color schemes we do like to mix it up. One thing I do like to point out, all of your windows will open for ventilation. You can get some really good cross breezes in here. Now, here in your slide out, you have the bigger, deeper, larger storage areas, because storage in smaller Class Cs is really tricky. Storage in any motorhome is tricky. You need to use every square inch you can. And notice too, they don't only just give you big cabinet spaces, they give you the double door struts to hold them open, and they're the nicer metal struts, not the cheaper plastic struts that can break and wear out real quick. You also have full privacy. You have both valences and lambrequins on the window, so when you pull that nice nightshade down, you get a lot of privacy in here. It is quite spacious in here, as it is 7 foot tall inside, so you do have a nice big wide open interior. One of the differences you may notice between this and its big brother, the Redhawk, is that the Redhawk will have things like full hardwood cabinet doors and whatnot, whereas this has a hardwood style and then just a panel insert. The point here is that that panel insert keeps your cereal boxes or whatever in that cabinet just as well as anything else, but it will do it in a less expensive fashion. And that's what this is designed for people to want a very good, reliable coach, but you know, they don't want to go broke doing it. That's exactly who this is for. And you have good storage in here. That extra height they utilized in this cabinet, and they put a shelf in here to double the cabinet space that you get out of this. A lot of manufacturers won't include that shelf, so you're going to have wasted space. Even the antenna in here is better than what you're going to find in most Class Cs at this price point in this class. This is the jack style right here. Long story short, it has better reach, better reception, gets you more channels more reliably. The microwave here, if you notice, is convection, so that you can, you know, get some good cooking real fast, because a lot of motorhomes, people don't usually want to run a gas oven in a motorhome, but what that gives us is extra storage down here. So you have some pretty sweet storage space in just these drawers right here, and some extra deep storage here under the sink. The refrigerator is an 8 cubic foot. Most Class Cs in this price point that the Redhawk competes against have a 6. This has a 33% larger refrigerator. Stuff like that adds up real fast. This huge closet is huge, and I know that's repetitive, but it's also extremely accurate. This is massive. I mean, to give you an idea, this goes past my shoulder in terms of how deep this is. This is really, really big. Now, right below that, you have 4 of these mega huge pull-out drawers that are just going to store anything and everything you wanted to do. Pots, pans, sweatshirts, jeans. Put a small dog bed in there. I mean, you could put anything in there. Now, I was telling you how this slide back here is what makes this floor plan awesome, and I'm not joking. You will find floor plans like this every day of the week. This is one of the best-selling layouts in the Class C business. However, normally you have a little corner bed. The bed would be right up against this panel and right up against here, and you'd have to climb over each other to get in and out of bed. And corner beds, to put it bluntly, suck. Nobody likes corner beds. You have to climb all over one another. It's just not fun. They've eliminated that option. This is going to cost $1 more, and you will actually enjoy camping in the 26XD Redhawk versus something with a corner bed that you can't wait to trade it in and get rid of it. Nice bathroom back here. Actually nice and bright, because they have not only a big window here, but a giant mirror, as well as a big skylight inside that shower. So you're just getting bombarded with light as soon as you step inside, which I think is really sharp. And obviously there's a privacy shade for that window. Nice standing shower in here, and again, because this is 7 foot tall guys like me, you're not going to have a problem in this coach. That's actually one of the nice things of going to a motorhome versus a towable, is that you get better space like that. Now, this does have a tank heater as well, so you can access that control right there from the bathroom, and you know, get some good extended season camping. If you go out there in the spring and the fall when it snaps cold on you before you were expecting, or when it dips down at night, this coach is going to take care of you. We've pretty much killed the kitchen and whatnot. I just wanted to give you a nice pass around here. These seat belts are something I wanted to mention. You have 2 seatbelt sets here, 2 seatbelt sets here. That's to keep your family safe. A lot of manufacturers don't have the quantity or number or reinforcement on their seatbelt systems. If you see how they anchor these into the floor, you'd be very impressed. What's almost unfortunate is Jayco does such a good job of covering up their work, you almost don't get to appreciate it unless you go for a factory tour. Which, if you do, give us a call. We'll help you set one up. It's awesome. Now, they have what is called the Dream Dinette. You see that there's no knee knocker beams down here. When you want to put it down into a sleeper, you just push it down to where you want it. When you're ready to go back to camping, you pick it right up, and there's a little lock mechanism underneath to keep it where you want. So you can see how easy it is to bring that up and down. No pulls or none of that nonsense. The overhead bunk up here, they just put a couple nice little accent panels in here, which I like. Not to mention the fact a little padded headboard's good for clumsy guys like me. But the big TV here, a couple things I want to say about this. This is, what is this, like a 36 or 40 inch or something pretty good sized. But it's on this little electric swing arm. What I like about that is you can shove it out of the way when you don't need it, and you can have it pointed at the perfect viewing angle for where you are. So a lot of times the guy sitting here on the sofa doesn't get a good look at the television, but that's not the case in this one. Everyone gets a clear shot at it. Or you can swing it all the way out and the person over here in the kitchen still gets a good look at everything. Also, I do want to point out that your electronics like this are Furrion brand. Furrion has just taken over the RV industry and the marine industry for being the top level electronics producer and supplier. This TV is designed to withstand being shaken very hard, 3 times the force of gravity. You can have it at 80 degrees hot, freeze it, reheat it to 80 degrees hot, no problems. And that's the kind of temperature swing and the physical jolting that things go through in a motorhome. It bounces around in here quite a bit going down the road. Thankfully, not as much as most other Class Cs due to the J-Ride system, which previously was an option on the Redhawks and at this time has been rolled into the standard package. And the tricky part about that is, again, there's not a whole lot I can visibly show you in relation to the J-Ride system. So please bear with me a little bit while I step outside and we kind of cover a few points of that. The J-Ride package is a 5-step process. It begins with adding Bilstein Shocks up front, which unfortunately you can't see. Those are helped to design frontal impacts, so like speed bumps. Or have you guys ever pulled into a campground that has a smooth campsite or smooth driveway? Of course not. They're all dirt. They're all full of bumps, and even the paved ones have speed bumps, you know. It also involves the factory chassis stabilizers. Ford has a 1/2-inch beam that comes from the chassis to the coach part to help keep everything from rocking and rolling. Well, Jayco takes those off and replaces them with something that's about 50% thicker and way, way stronger. There's nothing wrong with the Ford factory stabilizer that's on there. This is just way better, and you can tell when you're driving it. You get blasted by headwind and you don't get shoved off the road on this as a result. The other really big chunk of that J-Ride is the full drivetrain balancing. When you take an E450 chassis and you make a motorhome out of it like this, they actually have to cut the chassis and add a middle section. They stretch it. They create a middle portion of the chassis. When you do that, the drivetrain also has to extend accordingly. Well, now the drivetrain is in 3 chunks, rear, middle, front. Most manufacturers will rotate and balance the front, middle, rear sections separately, but Jayco goes through and does it all together again so that you have a fully balanced one-piece system now. And that's going to keep the steering wheel from doing this when you're going down the road. And the whole point of this coach, guys, is that you have to enjoy the journey as much as the destination. And that's what this is here for. This is here to get you there for a few bucks less, but in something that's going to be better built, reliable, and something you can really be proud of. I mean, man, you take even modest care of this, and it'll last you till you're done RVing. So give us a call, 800-256-5196. Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. Happy camping.